those three?
Oh yeah.
Packers aren't making it to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. That was not the next game again. I was gonna freeze or something. I would rather freeze.
I don't know why Mark started box chart is it. It was not mixed. I mean, pineapple and mango I can see, but pineapple and orange?
Every time I try to put the password in, it's
Just
Did it wake you up at least?
no. Caffeine doesn't have that effect on me.
I
Makes me very tired.
I switched computers.
So energy keep you awake when you feel like
I'm not so
brush your
wrong.
teeth thing and doing some work.
I actually do that. It's really good.
Really?
Like, I was just trying to watch the show. Come on now.
Can we watch the show, please? That's
No, Zoe.
what is a group of kids? Like, people coming in and I'm like, one of my coworkers gave me a message. Did she check in about the surgery?
200.
I was like, $5. One guy comes in.
You're welcome.
I said, yo. He turned around and he left. Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying.
Some customers
Pineapple and orange
One
is not
customer
mixed.
is like 9. Some customers will walk in and be like, oh, yeah,
They
we got
do
one
not
thing.
mix.
And I'll be
You're
like,
right.
no, you have to leave. Cause like, I don't want you to be later just because
Oh, I get
you
paid
got
for it.
some water. Okay, you got water, I know. Like, for a drink. Yeah, the filter water.
Our water is really roasty this way.
Are you on this one?
So we're getting one. Well, you know the big jug, like the big ones, like the blue and clear ones, you fill them up with water. Like this one.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So our question of the day today. What really gets you upset? What really ticks you off? What really makes you mad? Helen.
When someone puts the toilet paper back in and like the little flap is like back here instead of being like in front. Does that make sense?
You wouldn't like my household then. We're a back of the toilet paper, not a front.
I'm in front.
You're a front? Okay. So you're okay though when they're spinning on the side like they are in the bathrooms here though, right? Or do you need it to come over the front of that and not over the back? Okay. Does everybody know that too?
No,
You just fix it each time?
Yeah.
Okay. Does someone turn it back on you?
No.
Okay, I didn't know if there was somebody in the house who was the other way.
No, I don't even think they notice, to be honest.
Okay. All right, so what really ticks you off?
Politics.
Huh?
Politics.
What do you mean?
Just politics and things. It's like everything that's happening in the world that is political ticks me off.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
you know when your mom calls you or somebody in the house calls you and you answer them, but they don't respond for 5 minutes because they're into something else? That's what irritates me. My mom will call me and I'll say, yeah, Mom. She won't answer. I'm like, yes, Mom. Nothing.
See, I get mad when they're like, can you come here for a minute? And you walk in and then they ask you a question that you could have answered from where you were at before.
Yes.
That's the one that annoys me.
Our resident dad would call me, and I'll be like, what? And he'd be like, don't let me. And I was like, what else am I supposed to say? Yes, how may I help you?
Good point. Good point. Is there something you need? Oh, I would assume so since you called me. Okay. Okay.
Or when I'm driving and someone has a blinker on and then like I keep on going because I think they're gonna turn, but then they don't turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was behind one of those guys this morning. He went all the way down Main Street. I'm like, dude, where are you turning? You're not supposed to put it on 5 driveways before you're turning. So, okay. That's it. That's all you people get mad about. Humana, you never get mad about anything. What do you get mad about?
When people use all the toilet paper and they leave like that carton there, like empty.
Or even worse than that, when they leave like one sheet on it. So they can say, well, there was some on it. Just take the extra sheet. What? Toilet paper. So like when the roll is getting down, people will use the lasso but leave the roll sit on there, especially when there's another roll. Like we have a container full of extra rolls sitting by our toilet, you know. But then there's the people who will leave one on there so they can say, well, it wasn't empty. You could have wiped a little more. Go ahead.
When you're walking in the hallways and there's people walking with like a full friend group, and you try to walk around them, stretch across, and they're walking slow as
That's
hell,
so annoying.
and then you try to go around them, and it's like they move with you, and it's like, get out of my way.
I got a good one for you too. When you're driving it down the highway and the semi that can go just a little bit faster than the one in front of it decides to pull out and pass him, and it takes like 40 minutes for him to get past because he's only allowed to go so fast. So he goes a little bit faster and it takes forever for him to get past that one.
Mm-hmm.
People who drive in the left-hand lane and go slow.
Oh god, get it right.
Or when you
Exactly.
drive at the same speed as the one in the right hand lane.
Correct, and you can't get around them. So there's no way to get around them. Yes, yes.
When people act like they're better than everyone else.
Okay. Okay. What if they are?
Don't act like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be humble.
When I'm at work and like people call and ask if the food has salt.
Well, let's talk about it.
What?
Literally, like one time this lady called and asked me, she was asking me if the whole menu had salt, and I was talking to her on the phone for like 10 minutes.
Or they call
On
them
the village girl.
Okay.
Kevin.
Can you just tell them not to put salt in things or
No,
no?
and then they're like, oh, what's gluten free? And nothing there is gluten free. So
Well, at least that's a short conversation.
I mean,
Nothing's gluten free, nothing's salt free. Call somewhere else.
yeah, like the other day, this lady, she told me, I don't know, she wanted to order food. And it took her like 10 minutes to order food. Like I was standing there for 10 minutes because she was saying, oh, I can't have salt. That's too much salt. Or no seasoning.
Or-
It doesn't make sense to go somewhere. And
When when my parents would own a restaurant. Well, what do you guys got on the menu there? Okay, if you wanna order a takeout and you don't know what we have at all, come in, look at the menu, and order it at the bar.
Or Google the menu.
Well, this was back before that.
Oh.
I mean, when my parents ran their bar, there wasn't. You're right, though. It is easy now. You can Google the menu. You can see what's on it. Yeah.
Or when they call and they're like, I want to do a takeout. I'm like, okay. And then they have like 5 different people with them, and they're all screaming and cross at each other. I want this. I want that. And I'm like,
Figure it out before you call.
Keep it at
yeah. I was just like, oh my god.
this is more of a no. I was
Go
gonna
ahead.
say pet peeve, but it still makes me upset. My little brother, he likes like these little jelly bread things. I don't know what they're called. And I like them.
Uncrustables?
Yeah, Uncrustables. My bad.
Okay.
And we have like a thing of them in our fridge. He likes eating them up and then leaving the empty box in the fridge.
That goes back to that toilet paper thing. Yes, when they leave the empty box or the empty carton of milk or the empty thing in the fridge. Okay, yeah. Ticks me off too. I hate it when you go to a drive-through and the person in front then needs to get everybody's order. And it's like, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want that. Okay, did you hear that? No. So then they have to relay it. And then it's like, okay, this is taking way too long. Figure it out.
Why didn't you just write it down? And then
Or go inside in order where they can look at the menu and each one can walk up and order it on their own. Okay? Kevin, nothing takes you off?
I don't know, I guess when I retry the same video game level for the 64th time.
Oh my god.
And you die in the
That's
exact same
hilarious.
spot every time?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I can understand that.
I rage quit. I threw my controller at my couch after that.
Always a good idea to throw your controller at your console. Yes, yes. Okay.
When people, like customers, when they don't understand that you're a human too, like the other day, I had this lady come up to me, and she said something. She's normally very rude to me, and so she asked me, "Hey, where's something?" And I told her the wrong eye. Why? Because I don't like it.
So you told her the wrong guy on purpose?
Yes, I do that all the time with people I don't like.
Okay. I'm not going into your store and asking you where something is then.
I mean, look at me. Like, who's gonna expect me to lie to you? Seriously. I'd be like, yes, it's an aisle, da 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 da, and I'll walk away.
Okay. See, that's bad.
No, it's not.
But
That's not rude towards
I
me.
get more mad at the people who, when you walk into the store and go, "Where is this?" They go, "Oh, I don't know. I just work here."
Oh, that's.
Isn't that kind of what you're
At
supposed
least
to
she
do with
gives her
someone?
the answer and someone
I mean,
I don't
she
get
sends her
answers
to the
every
wrong
time.
aisle, but I mean, at least she sends her somewhere and that person feels good about walking away.
Yeah, I want.
So what do you do if they ever come back up to you and go, "It wasn't
They
in
don't.
there"?
They never do.
Oh,
They'll ask someone else.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, why would they come back to me? Hey, you told me the wrong aisle. I don't care. That's what I'd say to them, because she's always rude to me. Why not? I'm a human. Why not?
See, now you're missing an opportunity there, though.
What
Oh, I'm sorry. It's actually, you're right. It's in aisle 14. And she goes to aisle 14 and it's not there.
We don't even have an aisle 14. I'll definitely say that.
Even better. It's in aisle 14. She's wandering around the store looking for aisle 14. So.
It'd be like that though.
Other than that, gets me really upset.
Or when you can't find a Walmart employee and you find the one, but they don't know what they're looking for.
Or how to, yeah. They have no idea where what you're looking for is. I agree.
I don't know where anything is at that store.
Where do you work?
Walmart.
And you don't know where anything is?
Oh,
Well, what do you do?
I know that's still like the back
I
of my
just
hand.
dispense orders, but I don't like when they catch me, like going to my break and they're like, "Oh, excuse me, can you help me find this?"
I hate
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm only my break, but sometimes I'll help them, sometimes I won't. But when I do, and then they get mad at me for not knowing where something is, like I'll be searching it up, like they'll have an attitude with me. They're like, "Oh, my phone's not working. You have to ask someone else." And I was wrong.
What?
That's
Service.
so weird that you say that. Because I had a whole plate of food in my hand one day, and this lady still came up to me. She was like, "Hey, do you know where this is?" I look at my plate of food and I look at her. I'm like,
Aisle 12!
I'll tell. Yeah.
That's going to be your answer from now on. Aisle 12!
I'll
There's only 11 aisles in the store. Okay, good. Go outside and see if you can find it.
Or when they call, are you open? Yeah.
Like,
What time are you open till? Same time as every day.
Yesterday, oh my god, so we haven't.
Okay, but there are people who don't know. That when
You
I
can
will give.
Google it. Not everybody has a smartphone. Okay, well, half of the people that call, I know
Oh my
they
god,
got a
so
smartphone.
yesterday I was at work until 6. We closed at 6:05. There was 4 people going on the door to try to get in, and it was 6:10.
It's locked.
And our schedule is on 4 doors.
It's worse. It's worse. My parents ran a restaurant for years, and we would stop serving at 9 o'clock on the night. And at 5 after 9, somebody would come in and go, "Are you still serving?" And my mom's answer was always yes,
Oh my god.
even if we had started cleaning stuff up in the kitchen. So,
We're supposed to do that until 9 o'clock, and then after 9 you stay home.
but she would do it 10, 15 minutes afterwards while we were still in there cleaning, and then we would be cooking something for somebody else, and then you had to wait for them to finish eating. And what ticks you off even more is the people who eat as slow as possible when they're the last ones in the place.
I had a customer one time come in, the same older lady, and she was like, it was 9:05. Doors were like about to get locked, and my manager, she goes over to close the door, and she comes in, she's like, "Oh, I just came in for one thing," and my manager, she's like, "Do you really need it?" "No," and she walks out the door. No, what was the point of you coming?
The one thing
Anybody in here work in a movie theater?
I used to.
No.
Yeah.
You used to?
Yeah.
Tell me this, what do you think of now the scene at the end of the credits in the movie?
Oh god. Oh my god. Like, there's some people that just sleep there. Honestly, and you have to kick them out.
Because I used to like to go to like the late movie, like the 9 o'clock showing of a movie.
Yeah.
And then it would be one of the, Marvel movies. So the movie is like 2.5, 3 hours. It's like midnight. And you're not leaving because you know there's that one more scene coming up, and there's the guy standing at the door with the broom and dustpan just waiting, like, get the hell out so I can clean up and go home.
Yeah.
I think that's a mean thing that they've done to the movie theater workers, because putting that extra scene at the end means people stay a lot longer.
Yeah, because you can stay for multiple.
Well, not even that, but normally when the credits would roll, people would get up and walk out. Well, then they started putting the scene at the end of the credits for the next movie. So now you couldn't get up and leave because you would miss what that scene was for the next movie. And now the worst part is you don't know if there's going to be one or not.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times you're sitting there and then it ends and you're like, oh, that was dumb. Here's the other thing that ticks me off. It should be required to show where to tap your charge card to make it tap and pay on those devices. And it should be clearly stated if you cannot tap and pay. Because you look like an idiot when you're over there tapping it on all these different things, and then they're like, well, you gotta slide it in there. Okay, join the 19th century. Get the one that taps, please, will you? So, okay.
That's what takes you off, Mr. Ray.
That ticks me off. Because then I look like the idiot. Because I'm over there tap. Because there's somewhere you tap the screen.
Yeah.
Somewhere you tap the area next to the keypad. And some that you could tap it wherever. It ain't going to work. Show me where to tap it.
Thing for our work to like charge the cards or whatever, it broke, so we had to type it in manually, like all the numbers.
This is what we have
And
to
one of
do.
my coworkers got food, and one of the other coworkers typed it in wrong, and she goes, "Your card declined." My coworker was like, "It's not declined. I know there's money on there," and she's like, "Oh, I typed it in wrong." I was like, "Oh, that's embarrassing."
Okay, I have been to Fleet Farm buying the same items. But with Fleet Farm, do you ever go to their gas station?
Yeah.
You get the free bag of popcorn, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
What's on the free bag of popcorn?
Free guy. Well, like, not
A $5 off coupon for $50 in the store.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to buy motor oil and I'm stocking up and I'm going to buy 4 or 5 things of motor oil. Buy 3 of them, use a $50 coupon. Buy 3 more, use a $50 coupon. The second time I go to put my charge card through, it gets declined. Because 2 charges of the exact same amount at a store back to back, a lot of charge cards will decline you the second time because they think someone stole your card and now they are trying to run up charges on it by charging the same amount. So that one doesn't make you look good either when your charge card gets declined. Yeah. So, any other things that tick you off?
When I go somewhere and I have my card, they don't take out.
So, like Walmart. I went to Wisconsin Dells, tried to buy food at Walmart, couldn't get it because I had tap to pay and I didn't bring my card with me, and it put everything there. I was like, I was so sad.
You put it there?
Yeah.
Well, then I can let her walk out without paying for it.
No, most people just
Yeah, leave
oh
it
push it
there.
on the side.
Yeah,
I can't pay
people
for
do
this.
that at my job, and it makes me so mad. Why would I do it to anyone else?
Because you shouldn't have done the wrong IO piano.
To people that deserve it. Thank you.
Okay. All right. We may revisit this question again later on next week to give you more time to think about it.
Or the kids who tap their pencil on the desk.
Tapping your pencil on your desk, or if you have a
Clicky pen.
clicky pen and a nervous kid.
I do that all the time at work. I feel so
Yeah.
bad, but like it's a
I
habit.
stopped. I stopped. It was
So, there are a lot of habits.
I need to stop.
So, and I didn't get even into talking about ones about my wife and family. So we'll have to revisit another day. So, but all right. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to work on the lab. So if you would, open up your computers and get to the acid-base lab we were looking at the end of the hour yesterday, please. So it should look like this for you.
Mr. Brain, how hot is it in here?
How what?
How hot is it in here?
It is between 72 and 76. So just what it's been for the last week or two.
Max. Max.
Has anybody been to Florida?
Nope.
When I moved here.
No one asked you, Kevin. Oh wait, no, I guess she.
She just literally asked everybody.
Yeah, I know. I just realized.
Tick off number 3. People who don't listen, and then they're like, they didn't ask you. Well, yeah, actually, they just did. Okay. All right. So, again, everything is set up in the back of the room for you, ladies and gentlemen. The substances that you are going to test are all labeled, and they are sitting in the middle section. So when you take one to your station, you can test it through the test, and then put it back in the middle section when you're done so someone else can use it. Some of them, there are multiples of them. Some of them, there are only one of them. Okay? So you just got to work your way through them all. When you get to the station, ladies and gentlemen, one person has to take and plug the USB from the cord into their computer and open up the Vernier graphical analysis. The Vernier graphical analysis will be under your apps, ladies and gentlemen. And it will look like this red line, this dotted blue line. Yours is probably a circle, but either way, that's what it looks like. Again, these instructions are in your lab as well. After you plug this in, ladies and gentlemen, okay, it should automatically detect it. Now, again, some of the Chromebooks are a little bit weird. What I mean by that is you'll plug it into one USB port and it will not register. You may have to plug it into another, or it just may not work on your computer sometimes. We don't know why. It just happens. If that does happen, have your partner try it, okay? And if that doesn't work, I will try to get you a different probe because sometimes that works, okay? Again, we don't need this graphing thing, so this square up here and these instructions are in your notes or in your lab. Click on it, click off where it says graph, click on where it says meter, and now it will be reading a number for you. This is the number that you are going to write down in your lab when you stick it into the solutions, okay? Not 3.99, but whatever it reads when you put it in there. It's going to take a few minutes for it to get to its new reading and to level out. Don't be afraid to give it a little bit of time. We learned yesterday, this is heavier than this. So when you're doing this, you need to, 1, loosen the cap, take this out, put this on the side somewhere where it will not get spilled. Hold this into your solution and hold it until you get your number to the point where it is basically staying steady. Okay? May not stay exactly steady, but it should stay fairly close. Okay? When you are done, ladies and gentlemen, you just take it out, put it into the water, and you can actually let it sit in the water until you're ready to do your next one. And then sit in the water until you're ready to do the one after. But rinse it after each one. After about 3 or 4 samples, maybe think about changing this water. Okay? Especially if the number is moving around all over the place or things like that, because there's probably some contamination in there. And again, don't be afraid to move this around in the water to try to get the stuff off of it. You have red and blue litmus at your station. You will test both. It is possible that the red will stay red and the blue will stay blue. What does that mean, though?
No change.
That it's not an acid and it's not a base. If it turns red, what does that mean about litmus? That it is an acid. If it turns blue, means it's a base. I recommend testing both. You don't have to. If the first one you do turns to the opposite color, you don't have to. But if you want to, you could still test it. There is a container at your station for all the waste papers. Please put them in there so they're not littering up the counters and we don't have to worry about wiping that off. There is a container that should have some pH papers already ripped up, cut up in it. If not, the container that you're going to use to compare the colors to, you can take small pieces out and you can tear them. You only need a little bit, just enough to dip it in there. And for the pH paper, after you dip it in, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to take and you are going to compare it to the colors on the front here to try to get a number. You got to use your best judgment, okay? And again, when you're done with that, throw it into there, okay? So you need to get that done for each of these samples. So this is telling you what you should put in the box. A number 0 through 14 in this first one. Either blue or no change in this one. Red or no change in this one. pH paper, again, a number from 1 to 14 only because the scale on here does not go down to 0. So 1 is the lowest you will get on here, okay? Now, this part we will talk about. You don't have to fill this in yet because we haven't defined what a strong acid, strong base, and weak base are. Yes, sir.
What is the paper measure again?
Paper measures pH just like the meter does. It's just a different way of doing it.
Can pH be negative or
not? No. pH is a number from 0 to 14. Okay? So pH will always be between 0 and 14. That's just the range of it.
And that's with the little probe.
That's with the probe and with this orangish colored paper. So when you're comparing to the front here.
The first one is the probe and the second, or the
Yes, the first one is the probe, the last one is the pH paper. Okay? Now, in here, what you can do is you can put acid, base, or neither. But leave space because we're going to go back, and if it's an acid, then we will determine was it a strong acid or a weak acid? Was it a strong base or a weak base? But I have to give you that information yet. Okay? So basically what you're trying to do is get done. Now, real quick, why is this one highlighted in blue? What kind of compound is this? Look at it.
Oh.
This is an acid. Begins with hydrogen. Is aqueous. How about here? Acid.
Base.
Now we've got a base because of the OH. Now we've got a base again because of the OH. So I put ones on there that were for sure acids and bases so that we could see what they look like. But then the other stuff is things that are common household items. So there is starry soda back there. There is lemon juice. There is iced tea. There is Windex. And there is bleach, ladies and gentlemen. No, don't drink any of these. Even the soda and the iced tea, because to be honest, they're in containers that have had other chemicals in them. Okay? So you need to get this done. Now I only have the last 4 stations set up on each side, but that's plenty of room for all of you. Okay? Partner up, head back, go get to work, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't matter which one you start with, just please make sure you know which one you are on. Okay? Please make sure you know which one you are on.
Oh, you want to get
Lemon juice is right there.
Because it's lemon juice.
That is lemon juice. Now it's a little bit old because I threw out the stuff that was really bad at the bottom already. But that's lemon juice, trust me. Because it's really, 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 really good. When you're done, just leave it in the container of water. Okay? We'll do that because then you don't have to worry about it. So if you loosen that top and came that to me, you can pull it out. Just pull up.
So, Mr. Grant,
You gotta put it in the tea, otherwise that's not gonna read it. It's not gonna read if you don't put it in the tea. I'm gonna grab these little containers from you, ladies and gentlemen, with the solution. You can take and leave it sitting in your water each time in between, and that way we don't have to worry about those spilling at your station. Thank you. Right in that box over there by the pencil sharpener.
It says red, so it's blue and black. It's red first.